I remember watching shiny new mechs rolling onto ships at the port.
My time for this is rapidly disappearing. Gagarin is a city on the rise. Cheap facilities, an enthusiastic labor market. Archmite and Satari Mills are just learning what Reliant's known for years. Gagarin is the place to do business. What's that like? Challenging. I work for Helena Strickland, one of the most driven executives in the industry. I Titan really, though she seems to forget it's not just her that's responsible for Reliant's successes around here. Though we've been having some courier troubles recently. I think there could be some credits in if you're interested. Speak to Helena. Who knows? Drink themselves to death? I honestly haven't the slightest. I'm usually too busy trying to make something of this city. But if you aren't the seize the day type, you can wander over to Lizzie's. I haven't heard about any waves of blindness striking the city's residents, so the drinks can't be that bad. I better get back to it.
Terramorphs only show up on human worlds, right? So if I move to a planet no one's ever...
Welcome to Clint's. Whatever you need, I'm sure I've got it lying around somewhere. Except mech parts. Don't trade those anymore, so don't waste your time asking. Well, for one, it's illegal in UC space. Making mech platforms used to be Gagarin's bread and butter. So, since they were banned in the armistice, I get 1 to 2 folks a month asking what kind of relics I might have lying around. But I'm not about to risk a contraband fine at my age, so that's why I just lay it out up front. If you need anything, just follow the sound of falling inventory. You'll find me eventually. Gagarin. It was a military town until the end of the Colony War. Mechs were our specialty. Everyone always blabbers about Mars making the highest performance machines. But if you needed a system that wouldn't let you down in a pinch, you piloted a Gagarin. But that all dried up when the mechs were banned with the armistice. Now, we've got these new firms coming in. Archmite, Centauri Mills, claim they're here to revitalize the city. Which is funny, since their employees refuse to step foot in most of it. Plenty more competition for stores like mine, that's for sure. UC had a lot more money to throw around in those days. During the war, I couldn't keep the shelves stocked. At first, because of all the demand. But later, because the Freestar Collective flotillers were so damn good at picking off UC merchant craft. But the biggest difference now? The quiet. Not just because most of the forges and mines shut down. It was the testing. Firms used to drive their prototype mechs out into the canyons, way beyond the city. But you could still hear the guns all the way from here. It was like, shoo, thunder. So when the thunder stopped, well, so did Gagarin in a way. Good way to think about it. Hopefully I'll be around long enough to see the end result. Let me just bring that up. taking in the collection. Quite a sight, eh?
Get the assessment back on your apartment?
I did. Bank says it's worth double what it was when I moved in.
So are you going to buy it?
Only if I take up a life of piracy.
Got my credits?
Now look, I know I said it.
You did. Multiple times.
Next week. Next check comes in, it's all yours.
I don't have those credits in hand next week. I'm
Trade in a little bit of everything here. Except mechs. Too old to be dealing with that black market stuff.
I'd kill for an ice-cold boom pop right now.
Been an uptick in strongly worded graffiti recently.
Best way to get all this Martian sand and dust off you is to use powdered talc. Brush it off.
Living in the ground or caves has been a classic. Rinse off.
Always nice to kick back in the broken spirit.
Sidonia may be rough around the edges. It's not the way
Oh, did you find the book, Dragon Star Force Volume 1, The Heroes of the Dragon Star? Nice. Can't tell you how long I've been waiting to add this to my collection. Thanks again. I hope this makes it all worth it to you. Just taking things day by day, you know? The Radical Adventures of Jim and James. Yeah, it's super old, but it still made me crack up. Oh, tracked down another volume of Dragon Star Force. I'd definitely appreciate it if you could help me out again. Oh, thanks. You're really doing me a huge favor.
breathing that technically suitable air.
Dad, do you think Solomon Coe would have liked me?
Sure. Everybody likes you, don't they?
Do you think he would have liked you?
Well, if you listen to your grandpa, Solomon Coe would have given me a good whooping. But I think he would have liked the man I grew into.
When humanity finally left the cradle of Earth behind, the United
Welcome to
Colonies-
Deimos.
Intrepid
Deimos is more than a story arc. It's a simple... of the UC.
Exclusively a military contractor. Deimos ships are responsible for countless victories. They're a true piece of history.
Ah, it's nice to see someone not in uniform. They can be so touchy, you know. Always eager to point out the slightest problem. Oh, please tell me you aren't secretly some high-ranking general, are you? What a relief. I assume you're here for a ship. Either that, or you are really, really lost. Mr. Henderson handles sales, but if you want to know anything about our ships, I'm your gal. the UC Navy. I repaired just about every class of vessel there is. I even repaired Henderson's longsword once or twice. I swear that man has a guardian angel with him full time. Or 3. Deimos hired me because I know every rivet and microchip on these ships. So if Henderson gets stumped on something, it's showtime. I mean, they're very good, obviously. But these days, everyone's using the same core tech, right? Oh, shit. Do you know you can be lectured on being too honest? Right. What makes Deimos special, though, is the package. We've been building ships forever, and the way we put it all together, well, it's really good. In a, I'm gonna murder my enemies sort of way. Hmm? Oh, yeah? Well, I take that as a compliment. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It can be pretty hard working with these no-nonsense military types. Oops. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say things like that, at least not so loudly. I've already been written up twice this week. I can only take so many lectures. Man, I could really use a drink. Well, we don't have much of it at all. We have to keep up appearances. What I could really use is Jake's Stout, from Jake's Bar in New Atlantis, of course. Or The Well, to be more specific. I used to love that place when I lived there. I mean, Jake isn't friendly, but he can make a pretty good drink. Say, you're the traveling type, right? Would you mind grabbing me one of Jake's Stouts? Awesome! Thank you so much. I eagerly await your return. If you have your own ship, we're always looking for bulk resources. The Star Yards have negotiated a set price with the Trade Authority, twice the market rate. Once you have the requested resources in your cargo hold, just return to me. We'll pay you the agreed fee and we'll send the porters to pick up the cargo. If you deliver the full amount, there's a bonus in it for you too. Most contractors either represent mining companies or are miners themselves. But really, we don't care where you get the resources, so however you procure them is your own affair. As a first-time contractor, I am required by law to let you know that every Star Yard offers the same terms. But obviously, you should deal with us. Depending on your cargo hold size, you may need to make several trips to fulfill the order. So what we need is chlorine. We need a medium shipment, 2,000 units of it. Excellent. This invoice has the details. Oh, yeah. Bye.
No other ship can hold that gap.
You should
That
be
feeling
honored
of sitting in
to
the
step
cockpit of a
foot in
long
here.
sword, there's nothing like it.
This is the heart of the UC.
Ah, home, sweet home. Now where did I leave my cozies?
Always nice to kick back in the broken sphere after a
Don't worry. Trust me. This is... Okay, now we need to ensure you get hired. Basically, we'll need to make sure you're the only choice. To do that, you'll need to get access to the HR terminal in the corporate office upstairs on the main level. If you delete the other applications from the system, you'll be a shoo-in. I happen to know that the HR director, Tia, and the other women in the office tend to go to the Broken Spear for happy hour at 5 every evening. That's your window of opportunity. Believe me, if you knew Tia, you wouldn't worry. I'll be honest, she's so overworked and behind in her tasks that I don't even think she knows there are any applications. That's a good point, though. Once your application is in, I'll ping her and ask her to take a look to see if any applications came in for me. That should get her to finally take a look, see yours, and if all goes well, she'll hire you on the spot. I know it might feel shady, but think of it more like uncorking an unnecessary bottleneck. It's going to help us all. By the way, the HR password is password spelled backwards, which Tia thinks is pretty clever. She gets talkative during happy hour, and loud. Surprised everyone doesn't know her password, honestly. Anyway, should be pretty easy. Good luck.
Good old day, Miss Starfield. You won't find anything flashy here, but it'll get you where you need to go.
Don't worry. And I can say that I've got some good news for you. I just saw the company message go out that you've been hired as Peter's assistant. Congratulations. They won't. I'll tell you a little secret. No one really cares too much. I'm not saying anyone's bad at their job, just that everyone's too busy and overworked to care. Seriously, no worries, mate. I've been here long enough to know how they operate up there. Not really, and neither should you. Either those applications were old and those people have moved on, or as soon as you disappear after this, they'll get to hiring again. Next step should be easy. Just go to work for Peter, and when you get access to his terminal messages, you'll see my request. All you've got to do is approve that request and we'll be right on with it. Then we can get that new equipment and show corporate how it's done.
Mining must be a fun job, or else why would we keep getting so many applicants? Oh, you're finally back. I feel like you've been gone for ages. Do you know how tough this job is without an assistant? Good. Now, let's make... You look a bit different than I remembered. Did you go to Enhance? No. Now I remember. They told me they sent me someone new. Anyway, when they told me how poorly you did on your application questions, I had my doubts. But at least you showed up on time, so maybe there's hope. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work. Not, very enthusiastic. Noted. Well, I need something done, and I don't want to go looking for someone to fire you just yet. So, I have a shipment I'm waiting for. Don't know where it is. Last time this happened, my assistant went to speak to the governor. I'm sure he'll help you to get it sorted out. Now, kindly, off with you. I don't know. At first I thought I had multiple assistants that rotated in and out, but it seems I've only ever had one at a time and they all just stopped showing up. I believe my last assistant was supposed to get me some coffee, but never came back. I honestly wasn't listening to whatever they were crying about. Oh, do they cover nothing in orientation anymore? No, strike that. We got rid of orientation, didn't we? Anyway, it's not important. Your job is easy. You do what I ask, and that's pretty much it. I'm surprised you've forgotten that all right, new assistant. I keep forgetting. I could, but we'd be wasting valuable time, so no. What's in the shipment? A good assistant knows it's not their place to ask. Bad assistants get fired. Mediocre assistants get... You know what? I forgot where I was going with this, but it doesn't matter. Just get it for me, will you? Also, I don't quite remember. But it is important, that I know. Have a good one.
Something important, huh? Well, lay it out for me. Well then, you've been quite busy making a name for yourself, haven't you? Oh, it's okay. You can drop the act with me.
Well, I can see where this is headed.
Wrong? Not exactly. But word does get around, and I like to keep abreast of what goes on in my city. So look, I admire a go-getter like yourself. You're not in trouble unless you make trouble. And I don't think you're the type. I know you're not really Mr. Brennan's assistant. I don't know exactly what you're up to, but I have little reason to suspect you're up to no good. So let's cut to brass tacks. What can I do for you? Oh, I know exactly what happened to that shipment. However, I suspect Mr. Brennan neglected to tell you that I'm holding it due to his immense backlog of unpaid taxes. Then again, he may be unaware. Look, I'll tell you what. I'll release that shipment for you. But I'm going to need a favor first. since you seem to be adept at keeping quiet. See, my personal spacecraft was stolen, likely by Crimson Fleet pirates. I need someone to find it. Then I need that someone to destroy it. Discreetly. I need tight lips on this. Then we have an agreement. I'll send you to the ship's last known location. Remember, not a word of this leaves this room.